In this video I will list every single lore-friendly skin in Overwatch. But before we begin, let's quickly talk about rules.
Exactly. Rules. Without them, we live with the animals.
In addition to canon lore-accurate skins that are connected to a character's backstory or straight up appeared in a cinematic or a comic book, I will also include event skins that have their own spin-off or alternate universe lore. Examples of this are Starwatch, Junkerstein's Revenge or Mirrorwatch. I decided to exclude Cosmic Crisis since it doesn't have its own comic book or cinematic or anything for that matter. Overwatch also has many references to other Blizzard IPs, so you could argue that for example Hearthstone or Diablo are canon. But then we might as well include other pop culture references that are in the game. So I decided to not include them here. Also Juno, Lifeweaver, Hazard and Wuyang are relatively new to the game and they don't have particularly deep lore, so they don't have any skins for this list. Alright, with that out of the way, let's start off with the tanks. At a young age, Reinhard Wilhelm enlisted in German forces seeking glory. The hero of Eichenwalde, he joined the original Overwatch team in the place of his fallen commander Balderic. Two legendary skins in the game allow us to play as Reinhard's fallen commander. There's the shiny version when he was alive and kicking, and the overgrown version which can be found at the Eichenwalde map. Lieutenant Reinhard Wilhelm served with distinction in his time during Overwatch, notably leading the strike team that ended the King's Row uprising. Have you ever wondered what his helmet looks like in Overwatch 2? Prideful Epic Skins is basically a recolor, so probably that's the helmet that comes with his armor. Although Lionheart and Stoneheart didn't appear anywhere in lore, their design fit with the Lion Crusader aesthetic, so I decided to at least mention them. In the Mirrorwatch universe, he joined Talon and according to his interactions, he's basically Anna's puppet. Doomfist rose to power in Talon after killing his mentor Akinja de Adami, the Scourge of Numbani. As the heir to his family's prosthetic technology company, Doomfist was no stranger to the fine things in life. Funeral Skin appeared in the Masquerade comic book. In the Mirrorwatch universe, Doomfist became the strike commander in Overwatch. Also in the Starwatch event, he sided with rebels to oppose the Infinite Empire. While she was in high school, Hannah Diva Song held the #1 rank in Mecha Garden 5 and won the World Championship. There is also Infinite Ace Epic Skin, however it didn't appear in the Starwatch comic book. Scavenger and Junker skins are a nice reference to mech fights in the Scrapyard arena, but they are not canon. Diva also got a sponsorship with Nanocola. Originally built to protect Numbani, the OR-15 defense bots were destroyed and decommissioned after a battle with Doomfist. Orisa also has two skins that depict designs used by Null Sector during the King's Row uprising. We could also see them in the Honor and Glory cinematic, however there was no orange version in the game. Junker Queen has two legendary skins that kinda look like they could be lore accurate. These designs don't stray too far away from the Wasteland Junker's aesthetics, so I decided to include them here. Mauga has his Hawaiian shirt, which was featured in his origin story and What You Left Behind short story. The fact that we still don't have a Heavy Talon Trooper skin for Mauga is crazy if you ask me. After the Australian government displaced Mako Routledge and other residents of Outback from their homes, they turned to violent rebellion, forming the Australian Liberation Front. Mako Legendary skin is a reference to Roadhog's real name. This skin appeared in the Plant cinematic. Epic Skin Pigpen is basically the Overwatch 1 default skin, but with matte everywhere, so I see no reason to not include it here. And Junkerstein's monster was in Halloween comic book.
Hammond!
He's got the Horizon and Lunar legendary skins. These are a callback to his days at Horizon Lunar Colony, where he was referred to as Specimen 8. Junker and Mayhem show us how his mech looked when he first joined the Junkers. After becoming the champion of the Scrapyard arena, he became the Queen's bodyguard and eventually upgraded to the high-end design. Wrecking Ball also sided with the rebels in the Starwatch lore. Horizon Epic Skins is a reference to the Horizon Lunar Colony. Lab Technician similarly pays an homage to his father figure Dr. Winston, who perished on the moon. Undersea is maybe also lore friendly. I could see him use this suit for some underwater Overwatch mission. extraterrestrial appeared in the Star Wars lore, where Winston sided with the rebels. Sigma, after suffering a terrible accident involving a black hole, was locked up in a secret government facility somewhere in New Mexico. Asylum and Subject Sigma legendaries are a reference to his time behind bars. When Talon busted him out, he decided to join them, so the epic skin makes sense. However, his Talon suit didn't appear anywhere outside of the game itself. And the mythic Galactic Emperor. This one was added during the Star Wars event, so it's not exactly canon, but it had its own spin-off comic book. In the story, Sigma is the leader of the Infinite Empire fighting against the rebellion. Also, I'm not 100% sure about this, but the epic skin Dr. the Coupier also might be lore accurate in some way. For Zarya we have an epic frosted skin, as well as two legendaries, Arctic and Siberian Front. All of them are a reference to Zarya's military service in the Russian Defense Force. Also, with the Mirrorwatch event we got the epic Talon Agent skin, where she has some conspicuous veins on her arm. This makes me think that maybe she took Moira's place as a sadistic genetic scientist and uses her research to make herself stronger. With Mirrorwatch many characters got Junker skins. Apocalypse kinda looks like it's one of these skins. Before enlisting, she was a record-holding weightlifter, so these 3 legendary skins make perfect sense. What's worth mentioning is that Zarya was a prison guard in Star Wars comic book, however she didn't get this skin in the game. Ramatra has 2 legendary monk skins that are reference to his life as a monk, before he orchestrated the Null Sector invasion. We could see them at the end of the cutscene for Rising Storm PvE mission and on the cover of the Reflections short story. Young Elizabeth co-founded the infamous Deadlock gang alongside Bob and Cole Cassidy. This skin was featured in the Deadlock Rebels book. Legendary skin Socialite is a reference to her upbringing in the higher class of society. Intergalactic Smuggler appeared in the Star Wars event where Ash sided with Rebels. For Bastion we have the Overgrown skin. This is a reference to the last Bastion cinematic. He was damaged during the Great Battle of Eichenwalde to wake up years later and decide to live a peaceful life. During the Omni Crisis, this particular design could have been seen on many battlefields all around the world. Later, Null Sector also adapted this design into their ranks during the invasion. Kvishin were hostile Omnics that rose from the Omnium in the East China Sea. Diva and her mecha squad were fighting with them. Infinite Annihilator was added during the Star Wars event, so not canon but worth mentioning. Cassidy in his younger years co-founded the Deadlock gang to lead a life of crime. Then he joined Blackwatch and was involved in the Venice accident. Years later he met with Anna to talk about reactivation of Overwatch. She gave him some intel on new potential agents for him to recruit. One of the new recruits was Zarya, so Cassidy had to get some warm clothes to endure the freezing cold of Siberia. Van Helsing was featured in the Junkerstein comic book. Also, C455 Sharpshooter is a Null Sector's attempt at replicating Cassidy's badassery. Echo, despite having deep lore, doesn't have any skins that would fit into the main canon. But what's interesting, the Stealth Legendary skin received a set of new voice lines during the Mirrorwatch event. Don't know why, so don't ask me about it. She also was fighting against the Infinite Empire during the Star Wars event. The younger scion of the Shimada clan, Genji, has little interest in carrying on the family's business and spent his days on frivolous pursuits. In his youth, Genji's father gave him the diminutive nickname Sparrow. After he got his ass handed to him by Hanzo, he was rescued by Overwatch. There he received new cybernetic upgrades and served in the Blackwatch division. After leaving Overwatch, Genji wandered the world, trying to come to peace with his cyber body. In the Mirrorwatch event he also got a Junker skin, but it didn't come with new voice lines. Hanzo was the son of the former master of the Shimada clan. He had been groomed to take over leadership of the family as his father's successor. After being thrown out of Junkertown, Junkrat and Roadhog used disguises in an attempt to get back inside. Hayseed legendary skin for Junkrat is a reference to the Plan cinematic. And there's also Dr. Junkerstein, of course. Sweet innocent May has her pyjamas from the time when she went to the cryosleep at Echo Point, Antarctica. as well as a warm outfit to go outside along with DIY equipment which helped her survive. Then May traveled to remote regions around the world to continue her climatology work. Yeti Hunter and Abominable are a reference to her time in Nepal, about which we could read in her journal. Security Chief depicts Farah's uniform while working at Helix Security International. A similar design was featured in the Mission Statement comic book. Aviator is her more casual outfit and it appeared in the New Blood comic book. And P900 is a null sector replica of Farah, but we don't know anything else about it. Before serving on the original Overwatch strike team, Gabriel Reyes was selected to be a member of the government's classified Soldier Enhancement program. After fighting in the Omni Crisis as a part of Overwatch strike team, he established a Black Ops division called Blackwatch. This skin was featured in the Retribution comic book and the co-op mission itself. After Overwatch went to shit, he joined up with the guys from Talon. Together with Sombra, he busted out Sigma out of prison in the Code of Violence short story. We also have a legendary skin that's a direct reference to an undercover operation conducted by Talon in the Masquerade comic book. Pumpkin was featured in the Jarkenstein comic book. Sojin was an Overwatch agent. Skins, Troop Commander and Captain Chase are a testament to that, with the latter appearing in the Overwatch Declassified book. Two legendary skins, Cozy and Vigilante, are a reference to the Calling cinematic. Cool looking epic skin Infinite Admiral was also added during the Overwatch event. At his first opportunity, a young Jack Morrison enlisted in the American Armed Forces to defend his country, serving with distinction during the Omni Crisis. After the war, he was promoted to Strike Commander of Overwatch, leading the organization for decades until it was disabled. During his service in Overwatch, Jack Morrison received many commendations for his leadership. Daredevil 76 appeared in the Jarkenstein comic book. Infinite Guard 76 is yet another Star Wars skin. As you can see, Soldier joined the Infinite Empire. Orphaned after the Omni Crisis, young Sombra found a willing buyer for hacking ability in Los Muertos. Azucar and Los Muertos are a reference to her time in the gang. Then she joined Talon and assisted Reaper in breaking Sigma out of prison. The skin appeared in the Code of Violence short story. Jester's epic skin was featured in the Masquerade comic book. It doesn't look exactly the same, but it's clearly a reference. Demon Hunter appeared in the John Karnstein comic book. Symmetra faithfully works for the Vishkar Corporation. Architect and Vishkar are her former work uniforms. Vishkar appeared in A Better World and Rebuilding Ruins. She received these golden robes from Zenyatta during her stay at the temple in Survasa. For details, check out Stone by Stone short story. Utopia is a reference to Vishkar's most ambitious city development project in the world. It's a speculation, but the legendary skin Oasis also might be lore accurate, since it's named after the city built by Vishkar. We also know that Symmetra likes to dance, so Figure Skater kinda makes sense. And as far as events go, we got an S900 Sentry from the Null Sector Invasion, as well as a Junker skin from the Mirrorwatch universe. This skin also had its own set of new voice lines, by the way. For many years, Torbjörn Lindholm served as Overwatch's chief engineer, designing many of the organization's iconic weapons and technologies. He was a prominent member of the Ironclad Guild, whose headquarters were in Gothenburg, Sweden. Viking legendary skin appeared in the Jarkenstein comic book. In the Star Wars event, he also sided with the rebels. Before becoming an active agent of Overwatch, Tracer was a test pilot, until a mishap with the prototype Slipstream teleporting fighter. She was put into active duty as an Overwatch agent for the first time during the King's Row Uprising. From her interaction with Agent Lacroix, we also know that she assassinated Ramatra. This refers to the events of the Alive cinematic. So basically Mandata was switched up with Ram, and Tracer traded places with Widow. Mirrorwatch is confusing, I know. Amelie Lacroix killed her own husband Gerard in his sleep and joined Talon. She didn't exactly do it out of her own accord, but rather as a result of extensive brainwashing and experimentation done by Moira. Talon's skin appeared in her Legacy comic book. This was before her skin turned blue. Legendary skin Odette is a reference to the Masquerade comic book. In the Mirage universe, she became a captain in Overwatch and basically swapped places with Anna. So Gerard is still alive, and it was Anna who killed her own husband, Sam English. She also has what appears to be a cybernetic eye implant, just like Anna in the canon version. Anna served in the Egyptian military and was the best sniper in the world. During the Omnic crisis, she was recruited to Overwatch and became a captain, third in command after Morrison and Reyes. Legendary skin Horus was featured in the Genesis cinematic. Captain Amari's skin also appeared in Genesis. It also made an appearance in Uprising and Legacy comic books. In the Old Soldiers comic book, Anna fought with a crime syndicate as a masked vigilante under the alias Shrike. Later, she teamed up with Soldier 76 and changed her identity to Bastet along with a new mask. This also had its own short story. From Anna's interaction with Junker Queen, we know that she passed through Junkertown at some point, so probably this makes the Wasteland skin also lore accurate. Merciful Epic skin is a strange case. It has a special description in the hero gallery that tells us something about the creation of the biotic rifle, however the skin wasn't featured anywhere as far as I know. From Anna's voice lines we also know that she dreams of vacations on the beach, so Cabana skin is at least worth mentioning. In the Mirrorwatch universe she joined Talon and became the Arch Commandant. Like I already said, she basically swapped places with Widowmaker, but noticed that she still has both of her eyes, so maybe the duel between them never happened. A7000 War God is a null sector's attempt at replicating Anna's efficiency as a sniper. Cursor appeared in the Junkerstein comic book. Tropical Legendary skin was featured in the What You Left Behind short story. Baptiste, after leaving the Caribbean Coalition, decided to join Talon as one of their troopers. The skin made an appearance in his origin story. After leaving Talon, Baptiste aided in humanitarian efforts around the globe. Combat Medic Epic skin was featured in the What You Left Behind short story. Bounty Hunter was added with the Star Wars event, with him fighting against the Infinite Empire. Before taking up arms, Brigitte planned to pursue a career as an engineer who specialized in the creation of armor and other defensive systems. Skins Ironclad and Sparkplug are a callback to her time spent helping her father Torbjorn in their workshop. Sparkplug skin appeared in the Gothenburg PvE mission. In the Mirror's universe she joined Talon, but that's all we know since there's no voice lines. She also has a Star Wars skin. Apparently she has a rank of captain within the Infinite Empire. For Illari, I don't have any certain picks. However, Daybreak and Sundown and Legendaries kinda look like they could be related to the anti-warrior culture. So Kiriko doesn't have any confirmed lore accurate skins, however Matsuri and Amaterasu are heavily inspired by the Japanese traditions and culture. So it's not too far-fetched to consider them lore-friendly, since Kiriko's lore is so deeply rooted in her Japanese heritage. Sukaha and Altiger also look like something a person her age would wear. K2000 Blademaster is a null sector's replica of kunai-wielding assassin. Lucio doesn't have any confirmed lore-accurate skins, but some of these legendaries look like they could fit his musician persona. As a famous performer, he probably changes his outfits from time to time for his live shows. Space Prince also appeared in the Star Wars lore. Angela Ziegler, after finishing her education, served as a head of surgery in a prominent hospital in Switzerland. After she joined Overwatch and would assist other agents as a combat medic during missions. This skin was featured in the Uprising comic book and the co-op mission itself. After the fall of Overwatch, she was helping the people of Egypt during the humanitarian crisis. Dr. Ziegler's legendary skin was featured in the Valkyrie short story. In the Mirrorwatch universe, Mercy became the leader of Talon and took up the name of Vengeance. This mythic skin is definitely one of the best looking skins in the game, if you ask me. Infinite Seer was featured in the Star Wars event. And finally the Witch could be seen in the Drakenstein comic book. Moira's white lab coat is a callback to her controversial research before she got shut down by Overwatch. This skin was featured in her origin story. Later she was recruited off the books in the Blackwatch division by Gabriel Reyes and was involved in the Venice accident. Blackwatch skin appeared in the Retribution comic book, as well as the co-op mission itself. After Overwatch fell apart, she worked for Talon, and even became the Minister of Genetics at the university in Oasis. Zenyatta surprisingly doesn't have any lore accurate skins. However, the cultist appeared in the Cosmic Crisis event, as well as in the Halloween Terror. Did I forget something? Right. Venture, they just feel like a collective hallucination at this point. It's been over a year since their release, and only a couple seasons back we got the first legendary skin. Well, it wasn't lore friendly anyway, so it's nothing exciting. I might have missed something, so feel free to correct me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. And subscribe if you want to see more high quality Overwatch content. See you in the next one, shitters.